Akwaba, welcome to the MELANATED kitchen. I am Abna Nyakwa. Thank you for liking, for subscribing, and for sharing our program. And thanks to Afi and Caroline for sharing how to make your granola. I tried it and it was really nice. I had it on my breakfast, or my oats, and I enjoyed my breakfast. Today we are making beans with fried plantain, and our beans is we're using the black-eyed beans and we are adding coconut milk to it. This is something that's a delicacy in my house and we enjoy it on an annual basis. So let's join in and see how we can make our beans and cocoa. Akwaba, welcome to the MELANATED kitchen. Welcome to the MELANATED kitchen. Mold it. These days they mold it, they put it in rubber, a polythene bag, scooping out the pumpkin seeds, family. And it's ready to be eaten. So we dish out our okra stew. Yeah, that looks very yummy and I just can't wait to dig in. Okay, so we start with these are black-eyed beans and there are different versions of it. These are the big ones. This is what I got from the market, so that's what we are using today. So I'm going to pre-soak it for a minimum of 2 hours. And you know, some people when they eat beans they react, they develop a lot of gas and acidity in the stomach. So when you soak the beans, it helps reduce that reaction, and also it's faster to cook the beans. So always pre-soak your beans for a minimum of 2 hours before you cook it. So I'm just pouring it. In this part of the world you get it straight from the market, so you have a bit of the husk still on it, and you just have to make sure you take the bad ones, all the bad ones also from it before you cook it. So I'm going to pre-soak this and leave it for a few minutes before cooking it. So now we're just going to wash it. Normally you get the bad ones coming on the surface and you just pour it away. I just do 2 rinses and that will be okay. I have the sieve in the sink, so it was going to catch all the bad ones and I'll collect them later. Okay, so I'm now going to soak it. Even when after soaking you realize that you get some of the skin out, which is also okay, but our main aim is to make it easier to cook and also to not to get the reaction when you also for the tummy, for it to go easy on the tummy after you've cooked it. So I'm going to soak this. I'm leaving this for 2 hours and then we'll come back to it later. So now it's after 2 hours and we're going to drain the water away, put in new water, and then put it on the gas to cook. So you can tell the beans is doubled in size, and this will take a very short time to cook, especially now that I'm cooking in the pressure cooker. It will take a very short time to cook. So you just fill it, let the water be about halfway up, and I don't add salt to it. I add it after it's cooked, because the salt also, my mom taught me that when you cook with salt, the beans goes hard and takes longer. So I always add my salt after the beans is cooked. So I'm leaving this to cook for about 45 minutes, and we'll know what to do next. Beans is almost done. So whilst we are waiting for that, we're going to start with our plantain, because we are having it with fried plantain. So this is ripe plantain. We have I'm not using the green ones, because that's not what we use but that's not what we have with beans. So now we're using the ripe plantain. So you just cut it up. I slice it up into my container. You basically use any shape you want, but because I'm doing a shallow frying, you just have to cut it up in broader sections. And you know what plantains are good for? It's high in potassium, and potassium is good for your organs. Plantain is one of the good sources of carbohydrate as well. The ripe ones are sweeter than the unripe ones, so for this meal we are using the ripe ones. So I just cut them up nicely, and there you go. So with this, sprinkle just a little bit of salt. I'm using the granulated ones because the rock ones takes a longer time to dissolve. So I have it here, and I just mix it up. Sometimes you can add other spices. That's when you are doing your kilewele. But for this, I just add salt. So this is ready, and we're going to fry our plantain. So now put our frying pan on, and I'm using coconut oil here. Coconut oil can stand the heat. It's good for high temperatures. And then you can also use palm oil, which is also good which can also take the high temperature. Other oils are not advisable. Coconut oil and palm nut oil is the best for frying. So we just wait for the pan to go a little hot, and then we start our frying. Our beans is also almost ready, so we'll go back to it in a minute. Now our oil is hot, ready. So you just cook it a bit, just fry it, and then after it turns golden brown, you turn it over and it will be ready. The coconut oil over here, because of our temperature, it looks runny and it's clear, but I realized that in the cold countries you have it tends to stiffen up a bit and goes solid. So it's still okay. Once you melt it, you get the same consistency, and you can always use this in frying. So that's also one thing about the coconut oil. So now we're going to check on our beans, and as you can see, wow, it's gone very soft just as I want it. But because I'm going to use coconut milk, there's the water. I have to drain a bit of the water out so that I replace it with the coconut milk. So that's what we're going to do. I'm just going to scoop some of the water out, and we'll add coconut milk instead. You can use this water, you can save it and use it to cook your rice. You can use it as thickener also for your soups. It can go in your soups. You can also use it in place of water if you have to do other cooking, because it still has a bit of nutrients, a bit of the protein, the nutrients from the beans inside, so you never throw anything away. So now I think it's okay, we've gotten enough, and we'll come back to it. No, cooking is multitasking, so you do one bit and then you come to the other. So now we just want to turn our plantain so that it doesn't go too brown. Our plantain is ready, so we just scoop them out. This is golden brown, and that's how we want it. So now we've taken almost all the water out. We're going to add our salt. So I add my rock salt, just a little bit, and you know, this, because there's still water in it, it's going to dissolve the rock salt nicely. And we're going to add one important ingredient to it. That's our coconut milk. Remember how we did our coconut milk, and I was telling you, you can also use it for lots of things. So we pour in our coconut milk. It really depends on you how you want your beans, if you want it very thick or you want it a little runny. So this should be okay for now, and I'm going to leave it to simmer for about another 15 to 20 minutes. Now you know what beans does for you. Black-eyed beans are high in fiber, they are high in antioxidants, it's good for your heart, it's very high in iron as well, so it doesn't make you anemic. Beans are they also have a certain volume of vitamins in it, so beans are also very good replacement of protein. So the vegetarians tend to eat lots of beans, and beans are good for you. So whilst you are eating your beans, you know you are boosting your heart, it lowers your cholesterol as well, and you always go healthy once you are using your coconut milk. Last week I told you how what the coconut milk is also for. Coconut milk is a plant-based milk, and that's a better source of, it's good for the skin and also a good antioxidant and lowers your cholesterol. So whilst you are eating, you know you are eating right. Okay, so now you can tell that our coconut milk is nicely infused. The beans and everything is nicely soft and ready. So we add 2 tablespoons of brown sugar, and that is going to give it a little sweet taste. So with our plantain, this is going to be very nice. This food was my mother-in-law of blessed memory, Tomisia Haddock, is the one that taught me how to make this, and I make it every year in her memory. So we're just going to enjoy this, the whole family, and is to say thank you to my mother-in-law, who was a very good and supporting mother-in-law. So it's now ready to serve, and we go to the table. Okay, so I'm just going to start. So I'm just pouring my beans, and I'm going it's okay. I'm going to add a little bit of my gari, and I'll start. I really look forward to this taste. The beans go so well with the cocoa, and with the coconut milk, it gives it a very nice and interesting taste. Try it. You can use all sorts of different types of beans, and let's see how it goes. Stay safe, enjoy yourselves, and take care of yourself. It's all about a healthy well-being. So we'll meet again next week on the Melanated Kitchen. It's bye for now. Bye.